There is an old saying, slow as molasses in January. It means harmless and lazy. But in 1919, the people of Boston learned that molasses can move at 35 miles per hour, and it hits harder than a freight train. It started with a tank. Purity Distilling had built a monstrous steel container in the middle of a crowded neighborhood to hold 2 million gallons of molasses. But the tank was a disaster. It groaned, it leaked. They painted it brown to hide the cracks, and on January 15th, an unseasonably warm day caused the liquid inside to ferment and expand. Unaware of the danger, children in the neighborhood would even collect the leaks in cups. The internal pressure was reaching a breaking point as the sun beat down on the steel. At 12:30 p.m., the neighborhood heard what sounded like machine gun fire. It was the rivets popping. The steel walls ripped open and a 40-foot wave of dark, sticky syrup collapsed onto the city. This wasn't water. Molasses is 40% denser than water, meaning this wave had the kinetic energy of a solid rock slide. It was unstoppable. It moved at speeds no one expected. A wall of sugar turned into a weapon of mass destruction. The devastation was instant. The wave flattened buildings and crushed the local firehouse, pushing it off its foundation. Steel beams were bent like wire, but the horror began when the wave stopped. Because it was winter, the hot molasses cooled instantly, turning into a viscous, hardening trap. Rescuers couldn't swim through it. They got stuck in it like flies on paper. Every movement made it worse. A city transformed into a sticky, silent graveyard in a matter of minutes. It took weeks to clean. Fresh water was useless. They had to use salt water from the harbor to cut through the sugar. The harbor turned dark for months as the remnants of the disaster washed out to sea. The company tried to blame anarchists and bombs, but the investigation proved the tank was just poorly built. It resulted in one of the first major class action lawsuits in American history, changing corporate liability forever. For decades afterward, locals claimed that on hot summer days, you could still smell the sweet, sickly scent of molasses. Rising from the pavement in the North End, a ghost of the disaster that refused to wash away. It remains the strangest industrial disaster in history, proving that even the sweetest things can be deadly. So next time you reach for the syrup, remember Boston, and remember to like and subscribe. Thank you for watching.